Donald Trump is a failing president. A failed president, I would argue, but many people are now waking up to the fact that he is failing. Soon, they will wake up to the fact that he has failed. Harry Enton, the pollster, the statistician, the numbers nerd at CNN, did this little video with Kate Baldwin. And they're breaking down the new numbers relative to Donald Trump's approval rating, whether he's breaking his campaign promises, whether he's following through on his campaign promises. You know, the thing that you see the signs all over the internet and the yard signs and the memes about promises made, promises kept. And Donald Trump was right about everything. They even have hats with this shit on it now. And the numbers just don't back this up. In fact, the American people are roundly waking up to the fact that Donald Trump is a liar and a failure, and he's dragging the rest of us down with him. Watch this, and then there's 3 points that I want to talk about on the other side of this that really they should buoy your spirits that people are starting to wake up. And this spells good things for the midterms where we can take control of the Senate, we can take control of the House, and we can reset the agenda for America.
Yeah, you know, Kate, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so I know what losing feels like, and I will tell you that the courts have halted Trump's admin agenda a huge number of times. What are we talking about? We're talking about at least 181 times that they have at least temporarily, halted Trump's agenda. That is a huge number. To give you that in percentage terms, in over 50% of the cases that are presented to courts, the Trump administration agenda has been halted at least temporarily. So Donald Trump, tries to do these actions with his administration, but the courts have been saying, hold on, wait a minute here. Then they have said that at least 181 times so far in just the first few months of this administration.
Quite a number. On tariffs, some of the latest is this moniker that Wall Street we're learning that's being thrown around on Wall Street, which is TACO, an acronym for Trump always chickens out.
Yes.
You have numbers on that.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things, you hear these things going on, you say, okay, is this actually entering the mainstream culture? And we can see this right here in Google searches. The top term that was Googled with Donald Trump on Thursday was TACO. It was TACO. Indeed. Get this, the terms Trump and TACO Googled together up through the roof. Get this, 9,900% increase on Thursday versus Tuesday. So if you are wondering whether or not this Trump always chickens out and the acronym TACO actually has entered the mainstream, well, Google gives it away. It 100% has. And this to me is quite troubling for Donald Trump because obviously he trades on his name. He trades on the idea that he does what he says. And if all of a sudden you're associating Trump always chickens out with Donald Trump, well, that is no bueno.
So one of the things that you hear from the president and his allies is what's being blocked. What he's doing is exactly what he promised on the campaign trail and exactly, he says, what Americans voted for and put him in the White House again to do. How do you relate? How does it relate? And what are you saying in terms of how Americans feel about the president and campaign promises?
Right, exactly right. If the injunctions are being put in by courts, if all of a sudden he's always chickening out when it comes to his, tariffs, then all of a sudden Donald Trump can't actually do what he promised to do. And that, of course, is Donald Trump's bread and butter. And, even before the TACO acronym came into effect, our CNN poll asked, good at keeping campaign promises. Look at this. Just 48% of Americans said that Donald Trump was good at keeping campaign promises. Joe Biden's number in April of 2021 was actually higher than that at 59%. Now, obviously, that Biden number would go down during his administration. But if you compare where Donald Trump is right now in his presidency to where Joe Biden was in his presidency, Donald Trump's trademark is keeping campaign promises, and less than 50% of Americans say he's doing a good job, and north of 50% of Americans saying he's doing a bad job on the thing that should be a hallmark for Donald Trump, and he is failing at that in the minds of the American public right now, Kate.
This is an interesting baseline to keep, as you said, his ended up obviously falling. And to see where it goes from this baseline of campaign promises is very interesting, Harry. Thank you.
Thank you.
In 3 months, Donald Trump has been told by federal courts that he's acting contrary to the Constitution. He's violating the Constitution. He's violating his oath that he swore to to the Constitution of the United States. 181 times in 3 months. That's remarkable, right? Not really substantive, but funny that nearly 10,000 times there's been an increase of nearly 10,000-fold of searches for Taco Trump. Trump always chickens out. Now, where this is good, I mean, it's good news all the way around, but where it's really good, I believe, is the fact that Donald Trump starts to panic. He starts to act erratic. The more panicked and the more erratic he acts, the more people wake up to the chaos. The more people wake up to the fact that Donald Trump has no real objective agenda here. It's just flying by the seat of his pants. It's making a presidential proclamation or edict from the Resolute desk of the Oval Office, having his nursemaid, Will Scharf, read the executive order that he just signed. And people are going to start like, oh shit, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't vote for this. This is not what I wanted. It'll happen. And then thirdly, only 48% of people in America who were polled say Trump is good at keeping campaign promises, which is in stark contrast to Biden's nearly 60% at the same time, April of 2021, when he first was elected president. Obviously, that number waned. It declined, just like it does with every president. But when you first get into office and you're starting the rollout of your agenda from what you campaigned on, and already people are like, ugh, this guy's he's not following through on his promises. We didn't sign up for this. He's a liar. He's a failure. Again, he is failing, said Harry Enten, the numbers guy, not a partisan. He's just reading the polls. He's just analyzing the data. What do you think? Where are you on this? You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can send me an email the old-fashioned way, daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work. Become a channel member for $2 a month. You can click the join button below. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt All those are great ways to help support this work. You can go to Dollemore.com. That's another way to buy some merch, support the show. I'd appreciate it very much. Follow me on social media if you're around on social media. I am at Dollemore. I will see you next time. Taco Trump. 10,000%. Be genuine. Take care of one another.